Hlabisa, the place of slaughter. Echoes of celebration, feasting by victorious Zulu warriors returning from battle in an era past. Located deep in the rolling hills of rural KwaZulu-Natal, across the Hluhluwe Game Reserve Park, a school and hospital were established by the Lutheran Mission in 1932 to serve the community of Hlabisa. Identified as a presidential project in 2004, Hlabisa Hospital, long reflecting the dedicated work of its founders, has today been transformed through an upgrading construction project implemented by the Independent Development Trust.
The mission statement of the IDT is actually fully reflected in what happens in Hlabisa, because according to our deed of trust, the mission of the IDT is that the IDT, together with strategic partners, will enable poor communities to access resources, to recognize and unlock their own potential in order to continuously improve the quality of their lives.
The impact of the project on patients, hospital staff and the surrounding community has established a legacy of which all concerned with the project are justly proud.
There is a great improvement, when the quality people who do the quality surveys from the district came, they envied us so much. One said, "Oh no, I can be admitted here. I don't think it's much different from the private hospitals." Oh, it's very nice. It's very clean. Cleanliness, you see. I just touch like this and then no dust here. Nothing. It gave the place a facelift, It lifted the face up. Everybody seems happy, and in terms of aesthetics, the place makes you feel, very excited. It has made such a great improvement, The very environment, the air conditioning. I think it's great.
It changed my life a lot. It did. Because now I'm playing in a big league. I would like to thank the IDT because of this, from the IDT side, enforcing that, smaller people, especially women and previously disadvantaged people, we get a chance of getting involved in this massive project. So actually it is helping us a lot.
We work with communities to build community assets by providing opportunities for economic participation. And the second thing that I see when I look at Hlabisa is the IDT's commitment to sustainable development. Development that is not bound to the life of the project, that even long after the project is complete, people are able to maintain and sustain the things that have begun during the life of the project.
What do you have? Namsebenzi muni bengazi kodwa manje sengiyazi uma ngithi ngiyalapha kuthiwa nguplumber mina ngiyanikhombisa certificate nasi nganithatha ngiyonikhombisa la ngisebenze khona nguplumber mina ngiyazethemba.
Hlabisa is a very rural area, very rural with a very high burden of HIV and TB, and they are very poor patients.
Because some of them have to wait for granny's pension when they've been sick for like 2 weeks. They have to wait for granny to get pension money, and then they can come to the hospital.
The biggest challenge is do as much as you can with as little as you have. And it goes reasonably well. It's just take a good history, do a good examination, and you know almost 80% of your diagnosis already. And that's what I like. It's real medicine. You learn to listen, you learn to look, you learn to ask good questions.
8 o'clock we will meet with the other doctors, to plan the day, like who is going to do what. And in our morning meetings, we normally have people from maternity reporting about the previous day. How many deliveries they had, if everything went well, if they had any cesarean sections, if there were any maternal deaths or neonatal deaths, and the reasons.
And then you go to do your ward rounds. I mean, everybody has his own ward or maybe 2 wards. And when that's finished, you go to the OPD, see patients, or you go to theater, do operations. And then you finish around 5, that's the idea. And then the on-call starts, that one is from 5 p.m. until 8 a.m. So during the night, and then you just get called out for emergencies. That's the idea. And then the next day you work again. It can be quite harsh, but I mean, there's never a night that you sleep completely, but that's okay.
This morning I've just been doing a ward round. The majority of patients that are on the ward are HIV positive, or they have TB or HIV related conditions. What I find the saddest is the children. They really go downhill very quickly, and also the malnutrition and the HIV contribute hugely to their mortality. So we do lose a lot of children and a lot of young adults, and that's really sad. But it's also incredibly rewarding when you come in and somebody that you really thought was at death's door, they just pick up when they become well and they walk out the door. That's nice.
Hlabisa's got all the problems of rural South African medicine. It's really quite a ravaged community. There's massive problems with unemployment. For the last 6 or 7 months I've been working in the medical wards, the male and the female wards. And they're incredibly tough wards to work on. You often have between 30 and 40 patients, just you, the one doctor. And I'd say certainly on the male ward it's 85-90% HIV, and on the female ward 70-80% HIV related. And people come in, right at the end. They come in when they're really, really sick. And so we do lose a lot of patients. A lot of patients die. It's incredibly difficult on the nursing staff, who I think, doctors tend to come in for a year or 2, and the nursing staff tend to be far more permanent. And they've been living with this onslaught for years, and it's their community, it's their family, it's their sisters.
I love babies. Yeah. I started doing peds in March. I've learned to improvise a lot. Because we are in a rural area, sometimes you're the only doctor in the hospital. So, like in weekends, everyone is gone. You hear, maybe you're with the GP who's just doing sessions here. We do lose a lot of patients, especially with HIV. Because sometimes some of them, they come when it's too late. You do all you can. And when the baby was like very sick, and then the next day the baby is okay, we all rejoice with the sisters.
And we get students who are in their last couple of years, like 3rd, 4th, 5th year. And I like teaching them. And that's what I did a lot with Medicine Sans Frontières, teaching people. So we take them around and we show them patients and let them do things under supervision. I like that. You can come here and help people, but I think it's also good for the sustainability to try and teach people. I mean, we're here for 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 years, then we leave. So it's good if you can leave something behind, some knowledge or whatever.
Sustainability, leaving something behind, sentiments that resonate with the IDT ethos. The objective of the project was to upgrade services and infrastructure at Hlabisa Hospital. A new state-of-the-art female and male ward, sterilization unit and administration center would be built. For nurses, a new multi-story department block residence. A modern townhouse complex with carports for doctors. Alongside a recreational facility with hall, tennis and squash courts. Paving, walls, cosmetic touches, as well as sound security facilities.
We as IDT, it's our policy that wherever we build a hospital, we don't just put the asset. One, we want to make sure that people benefit, local people benefit in there, in terms of getting some few cents in their pockets, as well as also giving them some skills. And when the project is complete, at least we know that some few people will be able to build houses for themselves, and also perhaps some of them, when that they are also absorbed by the very contractor that is working in the area, and that's it. Now they get the job permanently now. There were people that were trained in skills. I think we were talking about 86 people that were trained here in different skills, and some of them were absorbed by Greneka. They are working with Greneka now in other areas. There's Olani was working here, and he was a shop steward, first of all, and he got training in construction. Olani didn't only concentrate on where he was trained by us as IDT. He didn't look on bricklaying. He also learned how to put tiles. You know, a lot of things that, even painting, when people doing painting, Olani was interested also. He got even those skills. Now he has built his own house. And also now he's working now in the hard way. He's the one that can read the plan and help the people say, if you want to build a house, bring a plan here. I can tell you what you really want.
I-youth yakwaHlabisa mangacabanga around 100 pupils abakwazile ukuthi bathole ama-training. Ngingomnye wabo mina ngitrainelwe i-plumbing. Sase u-12 sitrainelwa i-plumbing. Watrainwa 12 be-bricklaying, 12 plastering, 12 carpenters, and painting. And abaningi bagcine betraineka nje emsebenzini nje angena under subcontract. Okunye ama-tiles lana engiwenzayo akaze ngiye esikoleni with-training for ama-tiles. Ngibukile esayithini, ngabuka esayithini, okay, ama-tiles afakwa kanje, ama-tiles afakwa kanje. Ngiyawasebenza manje. I'm 100% sure ukuthi I can do it anywhere. From IDT, from Hlabisa Hospital project. Yazi umkhukhu. Bekunomkhukhu wami lapha. One room, netting full, net. Uma khona ingane ngishift umbhedo usuku lonke, ubusuku net. Kodwa ngokusebenza lapha eprojectini, bengithatha wona lo 600 rand. Ngithi okay, sengitholile manje ukuthi na umsebenzi sengutholile. Thatha lo 600 rand, ngiqale hardware. Fike ngithenge 2 ama-sheet corrugated iron. Only 2 thenge ngizobeka la. Next fortnight ngithenge 2 amaplango. By 2 years, 2 months, ngisebenza from Montes. Kwazile ukuthi ibe nje.
The other challenge that we had when we were doing this hospital was to get disabled people. We had to talk to Amakosi to get us some guys that could come and help. We understand that they've got a grant, of course, but because the department has got that policy of having 2% of the workers should be disabled people. So we have to meet also that target also. So the Amakosi helped us and gave us the guy. He was disabled, and we worked with him. Now he's got a papa shop. Small as it is, he's here in town now. Many people are coming to him. He said, with the money that I got in that project, I managed to buy these clippers, I managed to buy this and that. So I'm running my own business.
Mina, ngathi ngizoyenza yini ngoba phela ngiyabona bayaxova lapha kumise nekhafule yonke lento le. Wasengitshela ukuthi ke ngizongena lapha e-store room. Ukusebenza e-store room akusiwo umsebenzi nzima. Ngasebenza kahle futhi. Ngaze ngaqeda.
The other challenge, we're supposed to have 60% women. You can imagine a project of this magnitude where you're going to have 60% women. Now, the women had to dig those trenches again. It was very difficult. And also, as you say, we said, okay, let's look at it. Now, we are going to dig in very hard rocks. Let's use men. And then perhaps look at the painting. So we said to achieve the 60%, let's use more women now on those small jobs.
On the project, I was a 30% joint venture partner. So, but we were working as equal partners. We were doing exactly what Greneka is doing, building. There was a team from my side and a team from Greneka. That's how it worked. I learned a lot because even though I've worked with Greneka before, it was a smaller project. On this one, it was quite a very big one. The project actually helped me on the exposure of, being involved in big projects. That's where it helped me a lot, especially even with the CIDP grading, because from now onwards, I'll be getting a bigger grade because of that project. Financial-wise, it did help me. Actually, it's helped me a lot there on the financial side of the business as well.
And here, this is the kitchen.
Subdividing her property, Elizabeth Nyoni is now building her own B&B guest house in Richards Bay. She has also started a metered taxi business. Recently, Elizabeth was awarded the contract for construction and maintenance on all Telkom sites in the Upper North Coast region.
And there, where my garden is, that's where I'm going to put a swimming pool.
All this from experience gained and finance earned on the Hlabisa Hospital project. But as a woman in the construction business, it hasn't been easy.
Men, they don't usually respect women. You have to earn their respect, to work with them. But when they get used to you, then they start to give you respect that you deserve and stuff like that. In the Emakosi, with them especially, because the women, they actually build the houses in the rural areas. Men not usually build because men go and work in all the cities, but women actually are the ones that are building houses at home. So if you go to the rural areas, because they're not surprised because they are used to it. But now, because of the project, they were so impressed that at least women now can start now tackling things that we've been doing long before, but were not recognized. To them, they were actually quite very, very impressed. They were very impressed.
By the time we're doing this, we're facing the elections. People were using this project to campaign for their own political organizations. That was a very big challenge, and it was difficult. I remember when we had industrial strike here, and people agreed with Greneka that they were going to give them 46.50 Rand per day. They agreed, but one political member decided to come in to the workers and say, "We're going to give you 80." It was difficult to take those people back now to 46.50 Rand because they were promised by the man. They trust in the area that really, if he says we're going to get 80, we're going to get this 80. So for me, it was a really challenge because the department said, no, you have to resolve this IDT, you are the implementing agent. So we had 3 weeks, which I had to sit down with those people. And also, sometimes I had to suggest to them, you go to Labor, Department of Labor, and put a complaint. And if it favors you, do tell me. If it doesn't favor you, do tell me also, so that I know. Because at the same time, we as IDT, we are looking. We don't want people to be robbed by contractors, So we were sure, because we checked 46.50 that it was market related. So as I say, I can borrow you my car for you to go there to the Department of Labor and check. Hey, they did go there, and when they come back, they say, Lulama, we want to go and work now. We are tired of sitting down. That was one big challenge I'll never forget in my life.
But with IDT, they really surprised us because everything was built quite fast, and there was involvement of the management in the process so that we could have our input and ensure that the project is well done, and I think they've done well.
The wards are nice. They've got curtains around every bed so the patient can have privacy when we're doing procedures. They're clean. There's always sheets on the bed. There's blankets. There's the basic things that you need on a ward.
Also, the piped oxygen. I want to mention this because I know the trouble we had pushing cylinders of oxygen, especially at night. There are no men to assist you. Now we have oxygen. You just put in the flow meter and you join the tubing and you give oxygen to the patient. It really changed, the prospect of nursing within the hospital. The suction also, you just push it in and it works, and there you are. It's very comfortable now, very different from what we used to do. And also the floor we used to have polished floors and red polish at that. There is no longer any polish, and it's even easier to clean because with the polish, you also had to buy paraffin and you had to mix it up.
Kwakunzima kakhulu ufaka ipolish obomvu. Kwakunzima impela. Ngoba kwakwenzeka kwakuyingozi ngoba nesiguli sasingaphuka. Ngenxa ukuthi wawuphuza ukoma ushubile. Sekunomehluko omkhulu manje. Njengamanje sisebenzisa upolish owuketshezi olula kabi oshesha kabi nje ukoma. Futhi kube kucebezela impela. Kube kuhle.
Wards are very clean. Paints are not that old. You can actually breathe in the wards because there are some hospitals where you can't breathe. You're even afraid to touch.
The wall covering the cemetery gave also some comfort to the people. So when people came, they didn't even know it was no longer functional. They just saw a cemetery and said, oh, it means I'm going to be buried here. I might not recover from this hospital because they've got a graveyard. So that also covers that. So everybody seems happy. Looks very nice. It's easy to manage in terms of cleaning because I think the polish was the problem. The polish was indeed the problem. Thanks God, it's no longer there.
From a nurse's point of view, there are many advantages that we see. They have a beautiful nurses' home now and with facilities that they never dreamed of. It really changed our nurses' lives.
So I live in the doctor's little village and it's great. You know, I think I haven't been to many other rural hospitals, but it's certainly more than I had expected before I came. You know, it's great to have your own apartment, your own kitchen, bathroom, lounge, balcony. We have a squash court, which is rather amazing.
There's a squash court, there's a tennis court. If you're interested in basketball, yeah, you can literally do everything there. For me, that is a plus, you know, because I'm a tennis player and yeah, where I come from, I mean, you have to go around looking for a tennis court. And then here it's, you know, it's only a 5 minutes walk away. And I must say that together with the doctor's quarters, which are very beautiful, I think that has attracted quite a number of doctors here.
It's nice, it's really comfortable, it's lovely, it's clean, and it's near to the hospital, it's convenient, it's got everything you need. It's lovely.
Accommodation is very good. First thing I like is that we don't share flats. You have your own privacy.
The accommodation is perfect. It's really, you have your nice little house with everything in it, so that's really good. Well, in Hlabisa itself, there's not so much to do. So really, in the weekends you have to go out. But that's good because the beach is just 1 hour away, and we have this nice game park just half an hour away.
It's lovely. It wasn't actually the main reason I came here, but it was an added benefit. I'm not sure what I was expecting when I came here, but not much at all. And so when I found that I was driving through the game park, and as soon as I got off the plane, I was seeing elephants and giraffe. It was beautiful, really lovely. It's a lovely drive coming through here. And every time you do it, you realise it's just a really unique part of the world. It's lovely. And also just an appreciation for the different type of culture, because it's really nice. And you know, there's certain things that you don't get back home, like the singing during Caesars and that kind of thing. It's really lovely.
So now, ngenxa le plumbing enginayo engiyithathe lapha ku-IDT player project, ngiyazi ukuthi enyangeni ngiyakwazi ukuthi khona ngiqhamuka nezingane, nakho mama, nangu mama nobaba, nakho mama u100 inyanga ingaphelile ngoba ngibamba lama piece shop. Inyanga ingaphelile ngaholile yase hardware. Ngicabanga ukuthi na 100 ungababuza nabo bayakwazi lo. Ingane mayithi baba ungiphathela ama sweet, ngiyakwazi ukuyiphathela into ebingenzeki before. Lokho kunginika ithemba lokuthi ekuqhubekeni kwempilo iplumbing izongiphilisa kakhulu.
The Independent Development Trust, touching lives, touching humanity, making a difference.